No.
Yeah. Whatever. Look one card. Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Heather and Gina. We are testing the StreamYard platform for recording podcast right now to see if we're able to do this. So, Gina and I did already recording, but we're going to introduce, I guess, my announcement. That's what we're going to go ahead and do. So, I'm doing Muses Within Spirit podcast coming up here in about a month. Um, I will be having a co-host. We'll introduce the co-host at another time, but it isn't Gina, of course. But right now, not right now. But maybe we might have a guest read. But so we were talking about the dark night of the soul and dealing with uh, the aftermath of that. So I'm going to try to see if I can get the link up to do that so I can edit it out because it's a really good episode. And it's going to be the first episode of my Muses Within Spirit podcast. Um, it's about meshing creative spirituality with the present and how are you able to do that with the tools that you've been given. So it's going to be a little bit of creatives coming on. It's also going to be uh, doing spirituality in creative ways in overcoming obstacles in a creative fashion. So it's not necessarily art and all that stuff is a creative work, but it's also working with spirituality and how creation and spirituality mesh together in different forms and such. Um, so we're going to do this little test. So I'm going to Gina's been called to this deck that I have here. So we're going to have her pull a card or two. And then we're going to discuss while we're doing this test here so that you can kind of see what things are going to be progressing at. So do your shuffle, and then I'd say it's like two cards would be unless you get more than one. The eagle. That came up in the last ad as well. That's so funny. So this is good. Okay, one more pull. See what happens.
Goosebumps.
Seer. So go ahead, Gina, and I'm gonna give your mix on this because we just had two of these cards during our little session that I'm gonna hopefully get edited out so you guys can see it.
So we pulled the eagle and massive beasts of prey. This is about soaring and getting over your obstacles and the freedom to do so. Um, and then the sweat lodge, and we pulled this earlier, and the sweat lodge is my interpretation of that is removing all the toxins and the purification of the sweat. You know, unfortunately, this isn't easy because you have to sweat. It's and it does blend beautifully with the evil wow the seer. And it's it's about things that you know it's gonna happen. You know it. You don't know how you know, but you know it's happening, whether you like it or not.
So what do you think your mix is with this mix of what's the story with these cards? Because we talked about the story in our other episode. What's the story of this?
Um, I have been I have been put through the ringer with nonsense. One trial after another, and this is basically leveling up as a human being, as a multi-dimensional entity. It's getting the rug yanked out from underneath you and confronting the issue and figuring out a new way to move on because apparently what you were doing before didn't quite cut it. And the eagle, the freedom to um, approach these situations and tackle them as you see fit, or as you're directed toward.
And then how does the seer play into that? If you're talking the sweat lodge and the purification, what's the seer? Where does the seer in that? What character is that?
The seer in this is when you get comfortable. When you get comfortable, it becomes like the daily humdrum. The seer is, something's going to happen. You don't know how, but every time every time I get comfortable in a situation, every time I'm like, this is it, this is my life, I'm cool with this, I get the rug just yanked out from underneath me, and it's back to the eagle. I have freedom. Doesn't necessarily feel like freedom. The sweat lodge, because of course it's not easy. It's not easy, and there are times you just feel like you're burning alive. Everything is an ash around you. You just ungodly pressure, just chaos. But through that chaos, there's that purification. A lot of times, there were things that were toxic in your life, and you're not even aware of what that toxin was, whether that was material comfort, which I think happened.
Yeah.
Bad partners, really crappy jobs, because let you know something, I used to work national security, and it was hard to sleep at night. It was knowing what. Now I'm not allowed to talk about what I was building, but it was hard to sleep at night. Um, this year, and I had signs before my husband died, and I had all the material comforts that I wanted. I had a beautiful place, ate at great restaurants, anything I wanted to do, I could do. But I ignored those signs. Like, in hindsight, I was like, oh. But I was blindsided, or at the time I thought I was blindsided. I just ignored the signs.
Yeah, in my estimation with that, we talked about the journey and the eagle, and how the eagle flies above that with the gold in its tail. It rises above that. And not to mention, it's also, the symbol of the nation, basically, in the United States, is the eagle is on, like, it's rising above things, rising above obstacles. Uh,
And I hope we can all do this as a country.
but it's still about the purification process. You have to rise like the eagle. You have to let go of that. You have to, like, purify yourself, and then in doing so, I feel like in this instance you're opening up yourself to the seer's abilities. So where you before were not able to see, you've let go of those things that are holding you back from seeing the true picture. So you are, in essence, embodying the seer, because you've seen, like, the negative aspects, you've seen the negative, the dark night of the soul, you've seen that, but the seer sees all, regardless. And even in times past and stuff, the seer seen good or bad, they seen things, they knew things, they we're able to sense things happening. So I feel like it's almost a sharpening of that sense of being a seer. You already were a seer, but now it's like you've purified things to see things the way you need to see them now, in general. And I find it amusing that the eagle and the sweat lodge came up. Well, the sweat lodge came 3 times for you.
Yeah.
An eagle appeared twice, but now the seer is popping in here too, which is another element of the earlier episode, which, like I said, hopefully I'll get that edited so you guys can see, because we had a lot of reverb, echo, and stuff, and I'm hoping I edit it out so you guys can see that, because it was a really powerful episode. But this is going to, just be a continuation of that on the podcast. But I just wanted to try this other software. But I feel like it's almost like it's a period of purification that's coming up for not necessarily ourselves, but I think also like the world in general. And like we were talking about, purification isn't always good.
No.
Purification is also fucking scary.
Yeah,
Also was a purification of sorts. Yeah, so it's like but it needs to be purified to burn things that are no longer serving the space, so that you can attain the clarity of what you need to see, so then truly you can become the seer. Because right now we're dealing with elements where we're not seeing the whole picture, we're not seeing the bigger picture. It's because we're holding on to things that we weren't able to clear out yet. So if we're going through this purpose, like to be like the eagle, you have to purify yourself so that you can become the seer. So that's kind of like the story I want to say on that's the vibe I get, which is resonated with yours as well. um it's coming, man. It's something a purification is coming in general. Not sure what the outcome is going to be of that. Hopefully it's going to
Well,
be
even if it's complete total destruction, even if civilization collapses, everything that we know as it is, even if that gets destroyed, what's coming for us is so much better.
right.
And we just have to, I don't know, hang on, hang on, and go for the wild ride.
Like a phoenix rising.
Yeah.
Like phoenix rising from the ashes. And I truly think that's what's going to happen. The light of the way the world is today.
Yeah, it's a
There's a
whole
lot
of death and rebirth.
yeah. And I feel like people uh that are in tune with their psychic or intuitive abilities are feeling that. I feel like we all seen it coming.
In every sphere of every spiritual path, everybody knows something big is coming.
Right.
And I've heard it over and over and over again. And it's almost like the Christians talking about the rapture is coming.
Yeah.
We all know, all of us,
that something's
I getting kind of impatient for it.
Yeah.
Just drop.
It's like, let's just figure
drop
this out.
another shoe already. Let's do this. Come on.
Yeah, let's stop being in this constant status of waiting.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because it's very stressful. So that's kind of like what we're going through. I was just testing things out to see if this platform works as well. But I'm hoping that you guys see the other episode that we did, because that has a lot of good information in too. But this kind of expands on what we were talking about in that episode too.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So
It's so crazy that we pulled the eagle in the sweat lodge.
yeah, we were shuffling. We were shuffling. It's not like it was right there either on top. So yeah, that's where I want to end with. And also, I'm gonna put this one live, but this the announcement that I wanted to share with everybody, and Gina's here to support me and everything like that, is I'm doing Muses Within Spirit podcast coming up in about a month. I have a co-host that's going to be joining me. We will introduce the co-host at a later time frame. There may be more than one. Who knows? Who knows where it may lead? That's my big announcement there. It's about creative spirituality in all shapes and forms. And also, I am doing a spiritual travelers holistic fair in Bryan, Ohio on September 28th, where we'll have some healers, psychics, and a few metaphysical items will be
Yeah.
On the table.
And it
for people.
coincides with fun fall activities.
Yes, it will be during the Fall Fest around the square in Bryan, Ohio, and also the Barn Fest that weekend. It's going to be like there's going to be a lot of movement in the area and a lot
Yeah.
of fun fall stuff, which I'm excited about. Fall, like we were talking
So
about,
stoked
fall
for
is like
fall.
yes, fall. I summer is like my least favorite season. I prefer spring or
Yeah.
fall. The both I just both enjoy those. So that's my big announcement, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on my pages so you guys can see. Hopefully I will get that other episode out. And that will probably be my inaugural episode of my podcast. So keep your eye out for that as well. And as always, thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. And you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Talk to you later.